we got some portal intel to talk about. Tyler Barron has made waves over the past hour. He's that 6'5", 255-pound edge from Tennessee, and he was at Louisville, I think. He's at Miami now, and he just committed there within the past hour. I saw Dennis Smith tweet out essentially what is the bat signal for Miami portal and recruiting fans. And so this is yet another edition for a program that is all in on 2024. Ole Miss was in the mix here at one point. He was the number 2 overall available player in the portal. I think there's something from a registration standpoint where he can't enroll until the fall, and there was an injury thing too. I think Miami's comfortable enough with the injury to where they took him. I'm not even talking about individuals with Miami now. Collectively, they've brought in, it's like 15 or 16 kids in this portal class. Really, really big move for Miami, and indicating that we don't think it's a 2 or 3 year down the road thing. We legitimately think we can do it this year. Isaiah Augustov, who's a running back from Arkansas. Well, he's from Florida, but he was at Arkansas. Keep an eye on Colorado here. I know that he visited Arizona. We're being told keep an eye on Colorado. I think Zenitz and who else? It's 247sports.com. You can go look at the story. So Chris Hummer and Matt Zenitz did a really good job of aggregating a lot of this today. They're not aggregating anything. It's their intel. They aggregated it all into one feature story. But keep an eye on Colorado there. He's the number 13 overall available player. But Abelchi, he's the number 1 running back in the portal right now, right? In terms of available players. Number 2? 2, okay. So I always wonder, after the main sizzle, like after the main event of the portal has died down, there are kids still in the portal. There are over 1,000 kids still in the portal. You just assume, all the big names are gone, though. Not all the difference-making names are gone. So you never know. And they got a big need at running back now at Colorado. You never know how effective a kid like that could come in well after the portal closed, which just means no more kids can go in the portal. You can already be in it and wait as long as you want to. You never know. What about Star Thomas? That's a running back from New Mexico State, 6'2", 225. We don't even have moving B-roll of him. We've just got Getty images. That's okay. That just means he's been off the radar. He did play in that Auburn game, which still sounds like a fever dream to even talk about. But New Mexico State, when they blew out Auburn in Jordan-Hare Stadium, he had 67 yards on the ground, 9.6 per carry. He had a receiving touchdown that day. The crystal ball heavily favors Cal here. Cal making a move on running backs from the lesser ranks. I don't want to say what I used to say. I'm just saying lesser ranks. Duke and Toledo took a hard look, but best we can tell, the crystal ball heavily favors Cal. And what about Wilkie Denaud? He's 6'4", 270, defensive line, Mississippi State. He has committed to Florida Atlantic. So that happened earlier today. We were going to talk about him anyway. This just gave us all the more reason. So he's committed to Florida Atlantic. These are the names that we had been monitoring. So they keep ticking off. They keep falling down. There are still hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids in the portal. You always wonder, hey, you got the freedom to do whatever you want to. How many horrific decisions were made, and how many kids will be sitting around 20 years from now cautioning the next generation about how freely and quickly they went in the portal. And just think about this. I know that I was listening to Luganbill talk about this the other day, Uncle Tom, as I call him, JK, and he was talking about something that's so commonsensical that it flies over everyone's head. Like when you talk about a college football player that is on scholarship, you don't even think about the scholarship. Like that's an afterthought, right? Even with me, I don't ever think about these kids as scholarship football players. That's just such an afterthought. That's a given. A lot of these kids had a scholarship. Everything's paid for them to play football. And they voluntarily go in the portal, and now many of them are struggling to find a landing spot. And if they can't find one, they may have to go down a level. But the end result is some guys are going to end up going from scholarship football player to not being one at all, or having to pay their own way if they can find a way to do it. And there's just this thing, even that's the most basic as a scholarship, that you can't take that stuff for granted. You never know. You have no guarantee how many spots they're going to be available. If you're a big name, if you're Caleb Downs, everything I just said is irrelevant. it will never matter to you. But God made one of those. God made many more 3 and low 4-star caliber athletes where better make sure, I don't care what those rules about tampering say. You can go tamper with the other coaching staffs all you want to. You better make sure you got a landing spot. I would. Before I ever went in the portal, I would. I'd have that do not contact tag on me. You better believe it.